dear Nicholas Rimoldi and friends from Masvol, dear citizens of Switzerland and Lucerne. We have gathered here in Lucerne because we believe that independence and liberty is not a given. It must be protected by the countries that do not give up their sovereignty and do not allow it to be restricted. I am the vice chairman of a party called Obvързване, which is now a six-time member of the Bulgarian parliament, the parliament in a country with a long history, culture and struggle for independence and liberty. We know how easily a nation can lose the right to make its own decisions, and we know how difficult this right is to restore. We know because our country, which is a member of the EU and is obliged to directly implement European regulations and directives, on January 1st deprived itself and lost its financial independence when the euro currency was introduced instead of our national currency left, without the people of Bulgaria being asked, without referendum, and with faked data about the inflation rate and the budget loss. On the other hand, Switzerland is a symbol for many people in Europe, a symbol of neutrality, direct democracy and civil participation. Many nations, including us in Bulgaria, look with respect to the ability of the Swiss citizens to determine the course of their country themselves. Over generations, Switzerland has built a model in which the state serves the citizens, not the opposite. A model in which the people are not just formal observers, but real participants in power. This is a legacy that deserves to be protected. For many Europeans today, this sounds almost unusual, but this is exactly what true democracy is here. And that is why so many people in Europe look to Switzerland with respect and hope, including ourselves. And we at Obvързване party often give an example of Switzerland and the use of the instruments of direct democracy and consultation with the people here. Today, many European societies feel that important decisions are moving away from the citizens. More and more power is concentrated in the supranational structures of the European Union, and the national parliaments of the member states often become only executors of decisions that they have already been made without their consent. I believe we are here today because we fear that this process, in addition to the traditional acceptance of Euro membership, is also recently being pushed through bilateral treaties, agreements and commitments that have the same ultimate effect, the voluntary limitation and losing of sovereignty and liberty. It is particularly worrying when such mechanisms are presented to the people as purely technical or economical solutions. But believe me, behind the terms harmonization, dynamic adoption of legislation, and common rules, there often lies something much more substantial and dangerous: the gradual transfer of decision-making power from national citizens and institutions to external EU structures. Our position now is very clear. Only the Swiss people have the right to decide how far integration with the European Union eventually should go. Not external pressure by the EU, not the Brussels bureaucracy, and not political elites who are afraid to ask their own citizens. European cooperation between states is necessary, but it should not mean the erasure of national democracy, and it should not mean subordination. And integration should not destroy the diversity of European people. That is why the debate that is taking place is not just Swiss, it's European debate. And the question is simple: will Europe remain a union of free nations, or will it become a highly centralized political construct in which individual states gradually lose their autonomy? We believe that the future of Europe must be built on respect for national sovereignty, the right to democratic choice, protection of cultural identity, freedom of speech, and equality between states, large and small. We believe that Europe needs cooperation between sovereign states and not a system in which democratic choice is gradually replaced by administrative subordination. If Europe ever needs an example of how to defend democracy, sovereignty and civil participation, many will look to Switzerland. And let Europe remain a continent of free people, not an impersonal Brussels bureaucracy. And therefore, thanks to Mr. Nicolas Rimoldi and the organizers of Mazvo for the invitation, and to all those of you who are present here for showing a civil stance and opinion. And I want to hear your opinion. Liberté! Liberté! Liberté!